Okay, so this is for the field of friction lab. And so hopefully you've kind of done your initial setup. You have affixed your 4 materials onto some type of a flat surface. You've got your sandpaper, the felt. I had to clamp my felt down because the tape just wouldn't work on it. Like my rubber, which is just like shelf liner, and then a piece of cardstock. And you've got your block. So let's go over the software. So you're going to plug everything in, your force sensor into your SparkLink Air, into your computer. You're going to go ahead and select sensor data. And it automatically should show that you have your force sensor connected here. I'm going to unselect force, and I'm specifically going to be pulling the block. So I want to select force pull positive. And we're going to go ahead and select this template here, table and graph. And this should be what your initial setup screen looks like. Now, every time you start a new experiment in SparkView with the force sensor, when you go ahead and press start, you may have some initial data from the force sensor, even though there's nothing on there. So just to calibrate the force sensor, you're going to press start for your very initial run, and then there's a little 0 button here on this. And you're going to press 0 and make sure, do it horizontal, press 0, and then you should be getting a 0 reading, okay? And you can go ahead and then delete that run because you don't need it anymore. So just a reminder of how to delete runs. You're going to go over here, manage runs, and then we're just going to delete that last run. Okay. Now, the first thing we need to do in our experiment is we need to figure out how much this thing weighs. And you guys don't have a scale, so in order to weigh it, you are just going to hang it vertically, okay? So we're going to go ahead and connect it onto the little hook and just let it freely hang. It helps if it's not wobbling around because you want it to be completely vertical, your tension. Go ahead and press start. And we're getting a pretty consistent value, okay? So I have this 1.2 value, and I want to show you how to increase the accuracy of your measurement. So what you're going to do is you're going to come back down here to your experiment tools. This time, though, we're going to select data properties. And we have to actually pick which data we want to modify. So we're going to select measurement, force pull positive, and then right here, we're going to select number format. So this is where it does the rounding. And so right now it just rounds to 1 decimal point. We're going to increase that value. So we can go ahead and increase that to 2 or 3. We'll go ahead and do it to 3 and select OK. And you'll see here now we have a more accurate value. And we're going to see that we've got some between 0.217 and 0.247. I'm going to go ahead, since I had it hanging from the get-go, I don't have any 0 values here, so I'm just going to go ahead and average these values. Remember how you average that? Just do the mean. And I get an average value of 1.237 newtons. So that is the weight of my block with nothing on it, okay? Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and do my first run on my sandpaper. So I'm going to put my block onto my sandpaper, and a couple crucial things here is you are just trying to overcome static friction. So you're just going to barely pull, not barely pause, but you're going to pause it just until it begins moving. So it's super subtle. So watch how subtle this is. All right. It barely moves, okay? As you add more weights, it won't be as subtle. But it's just this very slight movement. Okay, and the other thing you need to be super careful about is you want to make sure that this rope is completely horizontal. So your face should kind of be down here and watching that go, okay? So I'm going to do an actual run. I'm going to go ahead and press start. And I'm going to pull on this until it just moves. All right. Okay, and go ahead and press stop. And we can see on my graph, I'm getting a graph that I'm expecting where I am here. I'm increasing my pull, increasing my pull, increasing my pull until it just barely moves, and then it drops down. Now, we want to know what was the maximum amount we had to pull before it started moving. So to get that value, I don't want this mean value anymore. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select my statistics tool. This time I want the maximum. I want to know what was the biggest I pulled before it started moving. Right there, 1.095 is the biggest pull I had before it started moving, okay? So that would be your maximum tension value for this first run with the wood block on the sandpaper. And then you're gonna take one of your weights, you're gonna put it into your block, and you're gonna do the same thing again. And you'll get pretty quick at this. So go ahead and press start. Again, gonna get down there, making sure that this is completely horizontal. Give it a little tug until it begins to move. All right. Oops, stop. 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 Okay. So again, I have my maximum value here. Add a weight, repeat, add a weight, repeat, add a weight, repeat. Okay. And then what you'll do is you'll repeat the process on your cardstock, okay, on your felt, and on your like rubber on your shelf liner. So you end up with 5 trials per surface. Okay, so should be pretty straightforward in collecting the data. Again, your goal is to record the maximum value you have to pull to just get it moving.